Well, it is the third day of LCS playoffs, and I'm joined right now by Damonte, who I did not interview after their victory against TSM, so I'm glad to be able to do that now. Thank you, Damonte, for making the time. And of course, this is brought to you by Alienware. Damonte. So, it's been a couple days since the really big win against TSM. I think really big, not only because I think a lot of folks would say it was an upset, but also it was a 3-0 upset. So what has this last couple days been like for you as you've processed that victory? I don't know if you've gone back and looked at the games or anything.
Well, it definitely felt good because it earned us an off day, and we didn't really have an off day for, I would say, like 11 or 12 days before that. The playoff schedule has been really crazy this year because it's all packed really tight for whatever reason. Like after week 9, we didn't get an off day before playoffs because we played Thursday. We played, I believe, Saturday, and then we played Thursday our playoff match. So we
Yeah,
didn't get an off day after week 9. And then if I'm pretty sure if you lose on the Thursday or Friday winners bracket, you play 2 days after that, so you don't get an off day after your first best of five. And then depending on the team, I'm assuming they're going to get some off days after the Saturday Sunday best of fives. But for us, we got our off day on Saturday or Friday, which felt really good, and that was like the main reason I was happy we won, if I'm being honest.
so you it was literally just you could have a day off.
Yeah, it felt really good to just
Okay.
do nothing.
What about the fact that you're not going to the losers bracket? Is that's that doesn't feel good?
I mean, it feels pretty good too because we're basically three Nexuses away from going to Worlds again, which is cool.
Is that how that works? Just a three
Yeah,
in XI?
yeah, we got to kill three Nexi against Team Liquid, and then we're there.
Wow,
I'm back at Worlds, baby. Let's go.
that's pretty cool. Well, okay. A lot of people said this TSM game match was an upset. Do you think it was an upset?
I think the
I mean, you had
three
just
zero.
lost to TSM the week before.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I think it's pretty crazy that we 3-0'd them, if I'm being honest. I don't think it's an upset that we pulled out the victory, but I think it's pretty crazy that we 3-0'd them. And yeah, that's like the main part that where it's like I didn't expect that to happen. I expected it to be a 5 game series, if I'm being honest, because I think us and TSM were pretty evenly matched before the match. So it's something weird, yeah.
Well, conversely, I think a lot of people would definitely say a win against TL would be a huge upset, given that people all seem to believe that they are undisputed the best team in the league right now. What's going through your mind as you know you have to face off against these guys in just about a week or so?
Um, I think now it's so much different with the double elimination, where it's like I don't really have to care about who I'm playing versus that much. It's kind of just it's much easier to focus on myself and my team since even if we do lose, we still have a second chance. So it's kind of nice in that way, but definitely it would be a huge upset if we also beat Team Liquid. But I feel like I found myself in this situation in 2019 as well, where I beat TSM in quarterfinals and then had to play Team Liquid in semifinals, which is like kind of the same thing, but with the double elimination now.
Yeah.
But if anything, it's just like I feel like we can win for sure. Even when we were on clutch, Team Liquid was like basically the shit back then as well, and we took them to 5 games. So I don't see why we can't make it a close series at least.
Now, if you do lose that match, and who knows if you will, but I'm pretty sure, assuming TSM wins their, actually they've already won, so you would face off against TSM again.
Yeah.
So that's got to be kind of funny, and that like there's a chance that over the course of a very short time, you may face TSM like in the final week, and then in the playoffs, and then you have to face them again. It's kind of a lot of TSM. When in these moments, do you just I don't know? Is it just weird to know that you're gonna have to play this team so much potentially?
um, I mean, it's a little weird for sure that we play them so many times, but if anything, it's cool. I'm down to play versus TSM. I feel like playing versus TSM is pretty hype, especially when you beat TSM because all the social media just pops off so much. So it's like it's pretty fun. Like even last year, I played versus TSM so much, so it's nothing really too new to me.
Yeah. Do you feel like you know what it means to play against Bjergsen now?
I think so for the most part. It's kind of like I kind of understand what he wants to do as a player and how he wants his team to play around him. And for me, it feels like not I wouldn't say I like have his number or anything, but I definitely understand how to not let him carry games. I feel like I know how like especially TSM like this iteration of TSM, even last year's iteration of TSM, it kind of felt like he had to do so much of the work to get the team to win, and it feels like my team now is really good in their lanes like individually and like even jungle too. Like all of our roles just match up really well, so it's pretty easy for me to just do decently against Pearson, and I feel like TSM doesn't have like too many win conditions.
Well, before we move on to the Team Liquid stuff, the last question I will ask is a lot of people have been discussing, debating how much of that was like Golden Guardians popping off versus how much of that was TSM just shitting the bed. And
Double lift.
I just interviewed Double Lift a couple hours ago, and he specifically I think felt as though that was more TSM losing than Golden Guardians winning. So in your mind, like you even said you didn't expect it to be a 3-0. So how much credit are you giving yourself given that there seems to be a lot of sentiment that TSM dramatically underperformed in that series?
I mean, I think all the fans, all the analysts can say whatever they want, but if I'm being honest, Golden Guardians are not worse than TSM in any way. So even if we put them 10 times, maybe they'll win a couple times. But I think overall, if both teams come to play, then we should definitely beat them.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the Team Liquid stuff then. You face these guys going up against Jensen. What is that experience like? You were just saying that when you face TSM, you feel like you know how to make sure he doesn't take over the game, but Jensen, I think, also has been playing really well this split. So,
But Team Liquid is a completely different beast because when you play versus TSM, it feels like you just have to make sure their mid laner doesn't pop off. But when you play versus Team Liquid, it seems like it doesn't really matter. They kind of play the style where they don't even really do too much in the game early. They're just down to take what they can get and just scale. And they have this insane Korean macro or something where they just can't get punished. And that's like the scariest part about playing versus Team Liquid is because you feel like sometimes a game gets so slow that you can't do anything. And then Jensen's always playing like a scaling mage. And I mean, even just like Jensen's laning, Jensen's like mid game macro is so it's pretty crisp, I would say. So it's hard to see Team Liquid and be like, we can just play this way and we can counter them. Instead, it's like you have to just be a good team if you want to beat Team Liquid.
today, Dignitas, your former team, lost. This is a team that did not want to start you, and ultimately was one of the reasons you got traded to Golden Guardians, or you ended up at Golden Guardians. Did you watch that game with a bit of a smile or a smirk on your face?
I didn't really watch the games today, but I don't know. It doesn't really make me happy or anything that Dignitas lost. I feel like I already got my revenge, on Dignitas. I beat them in the regular season and stuff. So it's like after that, I wish them the best. It's not like I hate the people over there or anything. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't. I need to go watch the game still. But how did they go, Travis? Give me your analysis.
It was first game was decent, and then it ended in 3 games. So I guess
You know what I
my
saw?
analysis.
I saw that. Did you see Bjergsen one shot Afterman? That was crazy.
I did not see that.
He like killed a Braum from 80% health with WQ as Syndra. It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been some pretty interesting pop offs. Actually, I've really been enjoying playoffs. I felt halfway through the summer split, I was like, nothing is really particularly interesting. Then like C9 started losing, other teams started to really take off. There was a lot more competition. You guys have been looking better lately. Even like the bottom team started to look good even before they flopped. So I don't know. I think it's been really exciting to watch playoffs because I mean your upset was great, but there's just been I think some other really interesting moments as well. So I've been enjoying it a lot. You going to Worlds this year?
I hope so. I think it's going to be so close, man. I think it's going to be crazy close. I think the top five teams are all neck and neck. So I feel like the two teams that don't go to Worlds are going to be really depressed.
Yeah.
Feels like right now the way I see it, I really do think Team Liquid is better than everyone else. It depends what C9 shows in their match against FlyQuest, if I'm being honest. But if any results from week 9 and are like holding true, I think Team Liquid are so insane. But That doesn't mean we can't beat them. That doesn't mean anything like that. But I feel like Team Liquid are the one team where I'm like, that team is probably going to go to Worlds, 1, 2, or third seed, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then after that, the four teams after that seem really, really close, and it's gonna be pretty epic. I feel, especially with the new format.
I mean, I think what is interesting to me is how similar this year reminds me to last year. I mean, you were in a bit of a more rough state when you were on Clutch and you had to keep winning to make it to Worlds, but it does really feel like, Golden Guardians, these underdogs, hadn't gone to Worlds before, etc. I'm really interested to see if you guys can make it through. And I think a lot of eyes are on you guys in terms of just the storyline that you're starting to build for yourself. So I'm excited for sure.
I feel like I enjoy the Golden Guardian vibes a lot more. Is that I don't know
Then
if it may,
Clutch?
yeah, maybe that's weird to say like for the fans, but I feel like on Golden Guardians, I feel like it's more filled with players that really want it, I would say. Like there's less play like I don't know how to explain it, but for Golden Guardians, it feels like every single player on the roster wants to go to Worlds like so badly, and there's a lot of people who haven't really proven this in NA even, and like who he just role swap. If anything, Hunter is like the only player on the roster where it's like I feel like he's like a long term NA
Yeah,
LCS
he's been
player,
there,
right?
done that. I'm sure he
Yeah,
still wants to go, but it's not like he has too much to
yeah,
prove.
yeah. And then like the other four players, we're all just trying for our life. I mean, Hunter's trying for his life too. Don't get me wrong. Like
Yeah.
he really wants to go, but like the other four players, they haven't actually done anything important. I feel like we haven't all as a group, we haven't done anything important in our respective roles. And like how Hui role swapped recently, it's just it would be insane. It gives me like Mad Lion vibes almost, where
Yeah.
it's just like these new guys kind of.
I mean, the FBI thing is really interesting. It does feel like, I don't know. You can kind of go lane by lane, especially if you don't count Hanser and just be like, Closer, this player that came over here, people didn't really know what to expect, etc. You, a player who was not in the LCS at the start of this year, FBI, who I think people
Underrated. So
yeah.
insane.
Yeah, and like, I mean, and admittedly, I think he really started showing up later on in the split, so I kind of understand. But people like he had what 2,000 Twitter followers, right? When everybody was memeing about that, like,
Yeah.
just nobody was paying attention to him. So the fact that he's been popping off, and then as you said, like Huhi, I think people have been calling him washed for years. No offense to Huhi, but like a lot of people just did not understand why he was still in the LCS, and so the role swap
Yeah.
everyone memed on it. So I do think it's a really fun narrative what you guys have going on right now.
I asked Hui the other day because I was just kind of curious on how he felt, but I asked him, I'm just like, do you enjoy playing support? And he just responded to me. He's like, it wasn't fun in Spring Split, but he's like, I'm having a lot of fun now.
Yeah, I
And
imagine.
that kind of made me feel like really good about, I don't know, just him and like his mindset and stuff.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean, I'm
pretty
no
cool.
analyst, but it does feel like bot lane has gotten more interesting in summer. Like not like both from a meta perspective, like it's really fun to see, like looking at Core JJ and the stuff that he's able to do for TL. I do feel like supports are in a really cool place. And then I just think there's so many interesting narratives going on in the bot lane for North America. Even like Johnson, who unfortunately lost today, like a lot of people have been singing his praise and stuff. So I don't know. It's a fun time to be looking to. I'm sure it's a fun time for Hui to be playing in the bot lane. So especially whenever he's got FBI and
Popping
the
off.
two of them are just doing cool stuff. So
Nerf Australians.
anything you want to say to any of the fans out there?
Just if you guys aren't a Golden Guardians fan already, it's time to hop on the train. It's never too late to join the Golden Guardians hype train. Other than that, same as last video, I still have a YouTube channel and I'm putting up some like commentary things on all of our LCS games, which is pretty cool content that I don't think any other pro player is really doing. So go check it out. Search up Damonte on YouTube. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thanks so much, Damonte, for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Would you like a free gaming station, gaming battle station with which you can get? Anyway, Intel Gamer Days. It's an Alienware giveaway that's happening right now as part of that promotion. You can go check the link in the video description below, alienware.com/Travis. It's my normal link, and there's going to be a banner there. You can sign up. They're also giving away, as part of that, a $300 Steam gift card. Thank you so much to Alienware for doing cool stuff like this. And maybe you could win it. I know maybe you haven't won anything before. Maybe you have. But you could be like, wow, I actually won this. I did not anticipate it. That could be you. Just imagine you right now getting that, and then you tweet at me and you say, I did this. And I say, congratulations, that's fantastic. Have you followed my book YouTube channel, which is right here? And you say, what are you pointing at? This is just a Twitter conversation. And I say, I know, but this is also the outro for this video. And you say, what's going on?